Hi, welcome to Lorraine's Tips for Lasting Weight Loss. In the last episode, I shared a rule of the mind with you that your mind will do exactly what it thinks is in your best interest, so you have to tell it. And I shared with you the example of my slimming statement that I read out every day for months and had a picture of me at the size that I wanted to be. In this episode, I'm talking about another rule of the mind, and that is that your mind will always take you away from pain and towards pleasure. So if you've linked pleasure to sugary sweet foods like I had, then your mind will take you away from any type of pain towards that pleasure. So for me, whenever I had stress or physical pain or overwhelming emotions like anger, sadness, or loneliness, my mind would be like, oh, have some ice cream, have some lollies, have some chocolate, because it thought that it was taking me away from the pain that I was in and towards the pleasure of those foods, because I had linked so much food, so much pleasure to those foods. So this might not even be a conscious thing. It's not like you're thinking, oh, I want some pleasure. It can be a physical craving. It can be a feeling in the body, an urge to eat a certain food, because somewhere your mind might have linked pleasure to that food. So I'd linked so much pleasure to foods like ice cream and chocolate and lollies that when I stopped overeating, the night before I stopped, I'd literally eaten 3 ice creams and a whole box of scorched almonds. I was in a lot of stress at work at the time, and my mind had been like, have some ice cream, have some chocolate, have some pleasure. And of course, I couldn't stop. But it really wasn't pleasurable because I went to bed that night and I couldn't lie on my back and I couldn't lie on my stomach because my stomach was so bloated and hurt so much that I literally was lying on my side, like in the fetal position, and thinking, wow, this has just got to stop. It really wasn't pleasurable at all. So, but one of the ways that I'd linked pleasure to those foods was by saying things when I was eating them like, this tastes so good. This is yummy. Oh, I love this food. I want more of this food. And so my mind had linked pleasure to these foods. I even said, this is better than sex, which was probably true because I'd been single for 11 years. However, now that I know that my mind will take me away from pain and towards pleasure, I can choose what I link pleasure and pain to. So I like to say that I choose to be alcohol-free, drink-free, drug-free, smoke-free, and 90% sugar-free, because I do allow myself to have some of those foods every so often. But what I do now when I eat something sugary, and for me personally, I don't have ice cream, I don't have chocolate, but I may every so often have a gluten-free sweet treat of some sort. Not really that it's a treat for my body. However, what I do is I heighten the pain in my mind of those foods to me. Personally, I get from those foods, I get indigestion, I get bloating, I get gas, I get furry teeth when I eat something sugary. I can really feel the sugar in my teeth. I have a high and then a crash, and then I lose motivation. I lack energy, and all of those things from just having something sugary. So what I do is when I'm eating that sugary thing, I don't anymore link pleasure to it by saying, this tastes so good. I link pain to that food by noticing, oh, the indigestion, it really hurts. Oh, the furry teeth, oh, it's really sickly and sweet. I notice those things, and the next time that I go and think, oh, I might have that gluten-free banoffee pie, that's one part of my mind thinks that. The other part of my mind goes, oh, no, do you remember how painful that was? And I choose not to have it. And that happens more and more often the more I link pain to those foods, the less I'm eating sugary foods, and the more I'm maintaining my healthy body weight. So for example, one day I was sitting in a cafe. I'd decided to go and do some work outside of home, and I was sitting opposite the bakery counter, and there was a gluten-free brownie in front of the counter. And so I'm sitting there working away, and then all of a sudden I had this thought, oh, I'll get a brownie, take it home for afternoon tea. Working. Hang on a minute. Why do I need the chocolate brownie? So I stopped and I asked myself, I closed my eyes, why do I want the chocolate brownie? And the answer that I got was because I was in pain. And I had a shoulder injury at the time. And so I knew that a chocolate brownie wasn't going to fix my shoulder. And so I could take my own mind under my direction and say, thank you, I understand why you want the chocolate brownie, but actually the pain of the shoulder injury will still be there, and then I'll have the pain of the chocolate brownie as well. And so I carried on working, got up, left, no chocolate brownie. So we can choose what we can link pain and pleasure to. Think about a time when you ate something or drank something that made you violently ill, and you said to yourself, I'm never going to eat that again. I'm never going to drink that again. And what happened is your mind got the instruction, never eat that again. It's too much pain. It's painful. I was violently sick. And so next time you see that food, you're like, oh no, I never eat that stuff because it made me sick. So that was done because you were ill, because there was actual pain. But you can choose to heighten the pain of foods. You can choose what you link pain to and pleasure to. So I choose to link pain to the foods that I no longer want to eat. And I choose to link pleasure to dropping weight, to being the size that I want to be, to being slim, fit, and healthy. And that's what I can choose to do. So choose to link pain to the foods that you no longer want to eat. Heighten the pleasure of the things that you get, the dropping of the weight, the seeing the numbers go down on the scales, feeling better, feeling healthier. Choose what you link pain and pleasure to, and it will make a difference.